Elon Musk and Donald Trump, two of the most influential figures in modern politics, business, and crypto, once shared a cordial alliance that seemed unbreakable. But lately, their public exchanges have turned icy, sparking debates, dividing opinions, and rattling financial markets. With Bitcoin and tech stocks feeling the pressure, investors are now asking, is this billionaire bromance officially over? And what does it mean for the crypto and financial markets? Today, we'll uncover what sparked this feud, analyze the economic consequences, and clarify exactly how investors should respond. The public exchanges between Elon Musk, the billionaire innovator behind Tesla, SpaceX, and X, formerly Twitter, and Donald Trump, the 45th US president and influential figure within conservative politics, have historically ranged from supportive to outright complimentary. Yet in recent months, their interactions have dramatically shifted. Trump's pointed criticism of Musk's ventures, particularly his management of social media giant X, and Musk's increasingly sharp retorts have escalated tensions to unprecedented levels. Their online exchanges quickly spiraled into personal confrontations, becoming a major talking point across news and social media platforms. But beyond the theatrics lies a deeper concern. How does this personal clash impact global financial markets, particularly crypto and technology stocks that are closely associated with Musk's brand and influence?
The president's biggest campaign donor, who was so close that Trump invited him to sleep at the White House, is now calling for him to be impeached and replaced by Vice President J.D. Vance. The man who was handed nearly unfettered access to the federal government is openly musing about forming his own political party. And the same guy, the billionaire backing the U.S. space program, he's now threatening to take his rockets and go home. What at this time yesterday was a one-sided attack on the president's signature spending bill is no longer just a policy disagreement, not even close. It has now become quite personal, as the president says he thinks he knows why.
Well, look, I've always liked Elon, and it's always very surprised. You saw the words he had for me, and he hasn't said anything about me that's bad. I'd rather have him criticize me than the bill, because the bill is incredible. It's the biggest cut in the history of our country. We've never cut. It's about 1.6 trillion in cuts. It's the biggest tax cut. You would say, people's taxes will go way down, but it's the biggest tax cut in history. It's we are doing things in that bill that are unbelievable. And when you look at what we're doing for small businesses, for people, for middle-income people, all of the things that we're doing, nobody's ever seen anything like it. And, Elon's upset because we took the EV mandate, and, which was a lot of money for electric vehicles. And, they're having a hard time, the electric vehicles, and they want us to pay billions of dollars in subsidy. And, Elon knew this from the beginning. He knew it for a long time ago. That's been in there. I would say, JD, that hasn't changed. That's been right from the beginning. Mr. Secretary, that hasn't changed at all, right from the beginning. But I know that disturbed him. He wanted, and rightfully, he recommended somebody from that he, I guess, knew very well. I'm sure he respected him, but to run NASA, and I didn't think it was appropriate. And he happened to be a Democrat, like totally Democrat. And I say, look, we won. We get certain privileges, and one of the privileges, we don't have to appoint a Democrat. NASA is very important. We have great people. General Kane is going to be picking somebody with our. We'll be checking him out, seeing. But he wanted that person, a certain person, and we said no. And I can understand why he's upset. Remember, he was here for a long time. You saw a man who was very happy when he stood behind the Oval desk. And even with the black eye, I said, do you want a little makeup? We'll get you a little makeup. But he said, no, I don't think so, which is interesting and very nice. He wants to be who he is, so you could make that statement too, I guess.
Following a series of heated exchanges between Musk and Trump, financial markets, especially cryptocurrency and tech stocks, felt immediate tremors. According to Cointelegraph, Bitcoin experienced notable price volatility, triggering significant liquidations of leveraged positions and unsettling investors worldwide. The Bitcoin market's sharp decline, analysts noted, coincided closely with intensified tensions online between these two influential figures. Investors, wary of further conflict-induced volatility, began reassessing risk exposure. Tesla stock, frequently sensitive to Musk's public statements, also reacted negatively, underscoring the delicate connection between billionaire influencers and market performance. Analysts caution that continued hostilities between Musk and Trump could amplify uncertainty, particularly in politically charged sectors or markets already vulnerable to rapid sentiment shifts.
I'd rather have him criticize me than the bill, because the bill is incredible. It's the biggest cut in the history of our country. We've never cut. It's about 1.6 trillion in cuts. Elon's upset because we took the EV mandate, and which was a lot of money for electric vehicles, and they're having a hard time, the electric vehicles, and they want us to pay billions of dollars in subsidy. And Elon knew this from the beginning.
In recent public statements, Musk stressed his independent stance, clarifying he aligns neither fully with Trump nor entirely against him, but remains critical of recent political rhetoric. Musk's messages often highlight freedom of expression, innovation, and the decentralized promise of cryptocurrencies, a philosophy sometimes at odds with Trump's traditionalist approach. Conversely, Trump's criticisms have focused on Musk's perceived mismanagement of X and questioned Musk's credibility on political issues. Trump's explicit criticisms have sparked a broader discussion about the implications of public feuds on market stability, particularly in politically sensitive sectors. Key points from their recent exchanges include Musk reaffirming his belief in cryptocurrency as a hedge against political instability, Trump criticizing Musk's political commentary as distracting and counterproductive, both figures acknowledging their considerable influence over public sentiment and market confidence.
I don't know what it is. It's sort of Trump derangement syndrome, I guess they call it, but we have it with others too. They leave and they wake up in the morning and the glamour's gone, the whole world is different, and they become hostile. I don't know what it is. Someday you'll write a book about it and you'll let us know.
The feud between Musk and Trump extends beyond personal grievances. It poses tangible risks to markets that rely heavily on investor confidence and political stability. Analysts warn that prolonged disputes may continue to drive volatility in cryptocurrency markets, potentially exacerbating price fluctuations and triggering further investor caution. On the other hand, many financial experts suggest this volatility presents opportunities. Experienced investors might view temporary dips triggered by public disputes as ideal entry points for long-term holdings, especially in robust assets like Bitcoin and established tech companies. Ultimately, market watchers predict continued turbulence linked directly to the public communications of influential figures like Musk and Trump, suggesting investors remain vigilant and informed. Given this climate, investors should consider the following practical steps: diversify investments, reduce portfolio vulnerability to market sentiment driven by celebrity or political disputes, stay informed, regularly monitor credible sources for market updates related to influential public figures, avoid leveraged positions. In volatile markets, leveraged investments amplify risk significantly. Maintain long-term focus. Consider volatility as potential buying opportunities, particularly in well-established assets. Assess fundamentals. Focus on underlying business strength, technological innovation, and market adoption rather than transient headlines. By adhering to these principles, investors can better navigate uncertainty triggered by high-profile conflicts.
Tesla's stock price took a massive hit after that. $150 billion in market value gone as the two were trading attacks today. According to Bloomberg, Elon Musk lost $34 billion today.
No, he worked hard and he did a good job. And I'll be honest, I think he misses the place. I think he got out there and all of a sudden he wasn't in this beautiful Oval Office, and he's got nice offices too. But there's something about this one. I was telling the Chancellor, this is where it is. People come in here, even from Germany. They come in and they walk into the Oval Office, and it's just a special place. It's World War I, it started and it ended here, and World War II, and so many other things. Everything big comes right from this beautiful space. It's now much more beautiful than it was 6 months ago. A lot of good things are happening in this room. And I'll tell you, he's not the first. People leave my administration and they love us. And then at some point they miss it so badly, and some of them embrace it and some of them actually become hostile. I don't know what it is. It's sort of Trump derangement syndrome, I guess they call it, but we have it with others too. They leave and they wake up in the morning and the glamour's gone, the whole world is different, and they become hostile. I don't know what it is. Someday you'll write a book about it and you'll let us know.
As the Elon Musk and Donald Trump saga continues, its implications ripple across markets worldwide. The personal conflict between these two giants highlights just how interconnected today's markets are with public opinion and social media. Stay tuned with CryptoFlix for ongoing analysis of this story, market insights, and strategic advice on navigating your financial journey in an unpredictable world.